Acupuncture has become an increasingly popular treatment option for those suffering with depression. This literature review evaluated the scientific evidence as to whether acupuncture was clinically effective in alleviating symptoms of depression. The focus question was, is acupuncture clinically effective in alleviating symptoms of depression in adults? The term depression is a Western term indicating an emotional mood disorder. The varying symptoms affect how one feels, thinks, and manages daily activities. The patient experiences a change of moods ranging from sadness to debilitating despair, cognitive function impairment, retardation of thinking, and multiple other factors. By 2020, it has been reported that after ischemic heart disease, depression will be the secondary disease threatening people's health on a global scale. This literature review sourced 5 scientific research articles published between 2013 and 2017, all sourced from the EBSCO-host database. Search terms included acupuncture, depression, depressive mood disorder, and randomized controlled trial. The search settings were limited to full-text peer-reviewed journals. Of the studies, 2 were randomized controlled trials, only one of which adhered to the stricter and consort standards. 2 studies were sham controlled trials, and 1 study was a single blind placebo controlled trial. All 5 studies confirmed that acupuncture was effective in relieving symptoms of depression, with several key themes arising. 1 study explored the therapeutic mechanisms of acupuncture in the treatment of depression. It found that pressed needle acupuncture effectively reduced symptoms of depression by improving vagal nerve function through a bottom-up neuromodulation. These results suggest that vagal nervous dysfunction is a contributor to depression. The study observed a clinical correlation between the improvement of depression following pressed needle acupuncture and speculated that sympathetic inhibition may be a contributing factor in the therapeutic mechanism of acupuncture in depression. It stated that not many papers actually delved into the therapeutic mechanism responsible for making acupuncture effective in treating depression, and highlighted the importance of future studies looking into this further. 3 trials compared acupuncture against or in combination with the use of antidepressants, with greater results in the acupuncture group. So 2 studies found that the group receiving acupuncture in combination with antidepressants produced significantly greater clinical effects than the group receiving sham acupuncture in combination with antidepressants. Both studies concluded that acupuncture was an effective complementary therapy to primary care and antidepressants. 1 study specifically found that the acupuncture significantly increased the resting state functional connectivity of the corticostriatal reward circuit and decreased the resting state functional connectivity of the striatal cerebellar regions, and that these changes are directly associated with a decrease in symptom severity reported in their findings. A 3rd study reported that the clinical response was greater in manual acupuncture and electroacupuncture groups than groups only treated with antidepressants. It found that patients receiving acupuncture were less likely to require It also found that patients receiving acupuncture in combination with antidepressants were less likely to require an increase of their dose. So all 3 studies found that acupuncture accelerates the clinical response to serotonin reuptake inhibitors and prevents the aggravation of depression. 1 study asserted that the application of the quality of life as a primary indicator for the evaluation of the efficacy of acupuncture on depression was important. It stated that this was very rare and that there are very few high-quality clinical reports based on this evaluation in relation to treatment. The study suggested that referring to quality of life in the treatment of acupuncture for depression would be more reflective of TCM theory and would be a more scientific and clear reflection on the efficacy of acupuncture. It further added that this method would also worked to establish a unified evaluation standard which would enhance comparability and reproducibility of clinical efficacy studies. It also iterated that the concept of yin and yang in TCM refers to physical, nutritional, psychological, and environmental factors, and that consequently the evaluation of quality of life for clinical efficacy of acupuncture would provide a more consistent evaluation standard of clinical trials. The same study addressed the issue of challenges of placebo control. It found that setting the placebo control was pivotal in evaluating whether acupuncture has a curative effect, and it asserted that acupuncture faces many difficulties in randomized controlled research, simply due to the placebo effect and sham acupuncture. So in conclusion, the literature supports that acupuncture is clinically effective in reducing symptoms of depression. However, it is evident that there is too much difference between trial designs, scales for measuring the depression. So this makes it hard for the purpose of reliable consistency. Additionally, in order to ensure universal consistency, it might be important for a universal scale to be agreed to among researchers. The small sample sizes of certain studies also jeopardize the evidence, and acupuncture studies need to provide larger full-scale trials with reliable designs to consolidate the findings above. Thank you.